Hello, good time zone, and welcome. We have had another tight vote today, and best of three has taken the morning here in Seattle time, and we're going to do best of three again. We had a nice run yesterday. We started out not in cycling, but then ended up drafting the hard way, listening to the table, and the table insisted that we draft the bonkers and cycling deck, so we did, and we went 3-0. It was pretty good. I haven't gone 3-0 since in traditional since we started out in the format. Done a lot of 2-1s, but 3-0s feel really great, of course. You get that 3,000 gem burst, and we're going to try and get another one today. And shopping at Card Kingdom feels really great if what you want is a large inventory, reasonable prices, fast shipping, excellent customer service, and the buy list that is the envy of the industry. If you have any cards to sell, you're going to want to be sure to check out Card Kingdom's buy list. They have, in the dark, the best buy list out there. So if you're going to do no research at all in the dark, in the blind dark, you should just sell to Card Kingdom. I always, of course, you know me, recommend doing research, but that's why I can say that, because I know that if you do your research, you're going to end up selling to my sponsor, Card Kingdom, quite often, as I do. I've told people I have my own store. I sell on the secondary market myself, and often I sell to Card Kingdom because the return on selling a lot of certain cards is better for me to just sell them straight to Card Kingdom than to bother trying to sell them to actual Magic players in the world. So you know that if I as a secondary market player am selling to Card Kingdom regularly, that you should be looking to do that as well. So keep that in mind, and thank you for your support, Card Kingdom. Remember to check them out in the panels down below. Let's get in this queue and get a first pick. Oh, this one fired pretty quickly. We waited a long time yesterday to fire the best of three queue. Hey, look, it's a Ruinous Ultimatum. It's one of the better ultimatums. It can even end up in the cycling deck. And I've been meaning to trying to find a reason to build around this. Should we take that and see if we can do that today? I mean, it's probably the best card here anyway. There's not much else competing with it. There's Memory Leak. There is what? Clash of Titans has fallen pretty far in the format. It's still playable and still very swingy. You resolve this, you tend to be happy. You think Naturalist is the big boy pick? Maybe. I think you could say this is. I don't think there's anything unreasonable about the ultimatum pick in this pack. This ultimatum in this pack, I don't think is being irresponsible. Back for More is awesome. King Caesar, just whatever. Ram through, pretty good. Snare Tactician, though, probably the best card in the pack. Back for More is up there with Snare Tactician in power level, but is gold and is not in the best archetype. This is a little better monocolored in the best archetype. Cardboard Live claims to be working for me over there, but it's not working here. Let me give it a restart. We'll try a restart, see if that does it. Back for More is very good. Yes, Rabbit Man, so is Snare Tactician. And it's the bet. Look, I'm sorry if you're tired of, and when I say you, I mean anybody out there. I'm sorry if one is tired of cycling decks, but this is the right pick here. It just is. And here, interesting, the wrong mythos in terms of exactly matching our ultimatum, but the right mythos in terms of just being really good. I'm not sure why this is here, pick 3. This is just an excellent monocolored spell. I wouldn't mind this here, Splendor Mayor or the Boon, obviously, to go along with our Tactician, but Mythos is a great part of a control deck. You know, if we don't even play the Tactician, or just trying to work out the ultimatum. Yeah, it could be a Zenith Flare. There's also a common missing, though, right? We have a rare and 2 uncommons, so we got a common and an uncommon, so it could be 2 cycling parts. We got to keep that in mind for sure. I think there's a lot of commons that'll be first pick now because of the cycling deck media. I wouldn't count on Blood Curdle per se. Like Snare Tactician could have been gone from that pack. Here's a Marmoset or a Bloodfell Caves if we really do want to move in on the ultimatum. Marmoset's the pick if we don't care if we run the ultimatum or not. And I think that's like this is where I want to. It would be fun to get here. I really would like to play the Ruinous Ultimatum, but I'm not fourth picking a land to chase it when there's a Marmoset and we have a Mythos and a Snare Tactician. Like, it's funny, sometimes the land is the grown-up pick, but I really think the grown-up pick here is the Marmoset. So I'm going to take it. Here we go. That's this I think we could all agree on. Tri-land for the ultimatum we have and goes in a cycling deck. Hello. Ship fun. You'll see Yankum. We'll get all the fun back. And I like that cycle dude as well. But here I want another Marmoset. Evolving Wilds also good, but again, if we can get to the ultimatum, awesome. I hope we can do the ultimatum thing, but I am focused on a lean, mean, good red-white cycling with what's being offered to me. So I'm going to take this. I don't know. Dionysus seems to be back and forth on his feelings about cycling. We could take Divine Arrow as generically good removal for the white deck, but this is where I'm willing to take Evolving Wilds to help us potentially get the ultimatum going. And there is a neutralize. I mean, we could take the cycle card as well. But I think Wilds with the ultimatum is fair. I'm trying to find ways to get us to playing ultimatum. And look at this. Blade Banish and Pacifism in the pack. We're best of 3. I would like to get a Blade Banish, but I'm more happy to main deck a Pacifism. Bug is interesting too. East, but I'm still going to take Pacifism. Yeah, I know. Like, here we go. Oh man, I want to take this for the Ruinous Ultimatum, but look, there's a Memory Leak still here. Come on. I have to take the Memory Leak over the Ruinous Ultimatum land, right? Sorry, I want this too. You know I want this, but I'm being primarily adult and secondarily ultimatum. Hey, here we go. We can take this. Dark Bargain is nice for Ruinous Ultimatum endgame as well, but Crag is perfect. Here's a bargain we can grab. This is turning into a weird deck. I don't know if we play the bargain or not. I think I started in the board, actually, and we try to be base red-white, usual stuff. This is not bad as a cycling card when you are looking to splash some black. We found a Blade Banish, but we also had to have a generic cycling, too. I'm going to take the Blade Banish. I believe if we are to the point where we're desperately sad that we passed a generic cycling 2, then our deck is kind of falling apart anyway. Bots draft the rares more consistently highly than human. Like yeah, I would agree with that in general, but I haven't really been paying attention to it, D. So I without the numbers, I don't know. Without looking at the numbers, here's a legendary Cat Beast, but that is not as good for our deck as just a straight up Tactician. If we wheel the Leosaur, maybe it makes the cut, but probably not. I'd rather run a Checkpoint Officer over a Leosaur in this deck. Need some 2-drops, but definitely not over a Tactician. We'll keep that in mind. Go for Blood. The playable Cycler. See if we can't wheel this Startling Development. And if not that, the Raking Claws looks good. could be, James, but we saw decent payoffs pass pretty late, and we saw a memory leak. Like we took a memory leak 12th or 13th. So James, if you think there's 3+ cycling decks, they're not very good at it because they gave us a memory leak way on the wheel, and they're not taking Snare Tacticians. So I don't know about that. Good, Hat. Let them take the parcel beasts and stay away from our awesome cycling deck. Flame Spill is going to be the pick here over Shredded Sails, I think. I would take a 1-mana cycler over Flame Spill, but not a generic 2. I mean, it's a playable 2, so it's not a generic. This is a generic 2, right? This is like all we're ever doing with Wilt in this deck is cycling it, but we'll take the Flame Spill. I taught you that lesson, D. You tell me, what's the chance of a Zenith Flare in 24 packs? Were you listening? We went over it multiple times. Vantasaur over Offspring's Revenge, I think. This is cute, but I don't think really it does anything we want. East says take it, play it. Cycle 1 is better East, right? Fun rare. I'm not here for fun. I'm drafting the cycling deck. I'm not here for fun. Go for blood, better cycling 1 than this. It's in the spreadsheet, D. There's a tab for it, and also, but you listen to the, yeah. So go for blood. Cycle 1, cycle 1, cycle 1. We could take the Enforcer, possibly even splash it here. If the deck falls apart as a pure cycling deck, this isn't a bad fallback plan, especially if we're looking to Ruinous. Yeah, it's not a bad human hedge either. Mutual Destruction is interesting also. Yeah, maybe the white human enchant wheels. This is not the correct land for us. We could take this as cycling. It requires black, though. We may be in a position where we decide this is worth it. I certainly don't want to run anything else I'm seeing here. So I'm going to take this, and we'll see if we feel like we have the black splash in order to do this. And here we go. The crystal comes back around. This is a perfect pickup for us. Someone was talking about that out of this pick when we passed it before. Thought we might wheel the Leosaur, and we did, but the crystal's even better. We can cycle it, or we can use it to get to Ultimatum. And here's the lockdown that we did get back. Mutual Destruction is also here, but let's take the lockdown first. If we do backdoor that. And I'll put a Wilt in the board here, but maybe I just put them in the main deck for right now. They cycle 2. We can take Commando, though, over Wilt in case of getting heavier into a black-white deck. And here's a Mutual Destruction. Maybe we just need to backdoor into white-black humans. Let's see what the next packs tell us. But certainly we're getting some signals from the table. Luris, you say? Well, unlikely that Luris will be our companion, but especially with nothing else really competing with it, we're certainly taking it and running it. We'll see about companion. Where do I have Wolverine on payoffs? Fine in the deck, but like 9th best payoff. 9th, 10th. Like I don't even have Wolverine or like Moloch in the top 8 payoffs for the deck. Here we can just take more cycling over a rock slide. We wheeled a memory leak once. Maybe we'll wheel it again. I do like this Swallow Hole. Trouble is, if we companion, we are cutting Snare Tacticians, which is among our better cards, but we'll see. Sometimes this might even wheel, depending on the table. But I think we got to take our playable cycle ones here. Not really the Triome for us. If there's anything else that we can be doing. Is there anything else we can be doing, though? Gosh, maybe we take the Triome. Ugh, it's really not a good one for us. But what else are we playing here? Like, if we're on Luris, we could do Corpse Churn in case we're on Luris. We could probably wheel this. Yeah, I guess we take a Triome anyway. True. It's just yeah, sometimes we're going to want to bring in a Wilt. We'll take it. There's just nothing else really here for us, so sure. We have an Obosh that is crazy to still be here. We would miss out on some of our 2s, but we actually don't lose a lot with Obosh, actually. There's also a Vantasaur here, though. Do you want to take the Obosh, or are we just... Because Vantasaur is arguable. Might we just need the cycling one? Fluffy just wants to be the grown-up. Alright, we'll take Obosh and see. But I really wanted that cycle one, to be honest. What do we got here? Here's a Corpse Churn we could grab. Yeah, weaponize for... but we're not creating tokens. I don't know. Yeah, Colin wants the Finder. Finder helps us do the ultimatum thing. But... I'm torn. I'm going to take the Farfinder because of the ultimatum. How about a Zenith Flare? Pack 3, pick 6. How many cycling drafters are at this table? Somebody said 3? 3 was the prediction? So now I just want to move back towards cycling stuff. A lot of cycling too, so this is actually not great on the actual cycling cards front. Trap is funny with Obosh. Scorp with Obosh also justifiable for sure. The frequency with which you expect it in 24 packs. Or the I don't know, I'm not looking at it, so I'm not seeing which one you're looking at, but it's just either the frequency with which you expect it in 1 pack or 24 packs, depending on which part you're talking about. Caprador. I don't know yet, Fenor. Settle down now. Flair Schmer said, nobody serious. All right, let's note the gem grind. This is an interesting one. First, let's look at just like what a straight up cycling deck looks like. It's all written there, man. D, go to that tab and read the things I wrote, and you got to be able to figure it out. You're a smart guy. Figure it out. Look at it. Go look at it. Go read the word. Go read all the words I wrote on that page. So, if we are a straight up cycling deck, probably not this, maybe one of those, not doing that, not a coil bug, not a corpse churn. Not even that. Fenor, relax. This is my process. It's a process. So this is kind of our good stuff pile. This is our cycling reward pile. I don't know if this deck is doing enough. I mean, can Flame Spill, Go for Blood works with it, but we'll put it in there for now. Farfinder is kind of more of the good stuff. Luris, good stuff. Marmoset, payoff. Then we get into cycle 2 over here. This is our cycle 1. Here's our cycle 2 plus. We don't, so we're pretty low on cycle 1. We have, and this is pacifism and good stuff. And let's see, get out of your way. So this is 44 cards and doesn't even really cut much of this, and it hasn't cut any lands yet. Yeah, we can. I'll put in the Avon lands now because I'm going to mess with lands to get an idea of where we're going to end up there. I think we're running the ultimatum. I think we can with Evolving Wild. We have Evolving Wilds, the right Crystal, the right Triome, and a Windscarred Crag. So, but with all of this, this doesn't count. This doesn't do anything for our ultimatum. Yeah, I think we can start a banish on the side. We definitely want to be cutting from here. Oh, we also have Farfinder. See, so I think we can totally do and should do the ultimatum thing here. Well, also a cycling deck looks to get very deep into the deck. So if we have like 4 ways to, you know, we should cut this down. And then we're looking at like, I like kind of like a 15 lander here. Yeah, we missed out on a couple of the 5/5 hasters for other better picks. I stand by the picks we made, but yes, it would be nice to have one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We could even like cut a snare tactician because we don't have that much cycling, but I guess we want to get the value out of it when we do. Why wouldn't they be, D? Yeah, we could cut Luris. Let's see. Luris doesn't get back anything. Let's see. What is Luris? Permanent spell. So we could recast pacifisms, and that's about it. So that's a reasonable cut. Cutting Luris. Luris isn't doing anything here. No, we're not cutting a crystal. It casts. It's the right crystal for casting ultimatum, and it cycles, and we're a cycling deck too. So, Adrian, you like. This is kind of a it looks like a nothing card, but it's pretty gluish here for us in terms of ultimatum plan and cycling plan. Caprador is very medium here, but it does work with Go for Blood, and it does work with Mythos because we can, like, let's say they have a 3 toughness. They have 2 3 toughness creatures. We could send 3 at one of them and 2 at our own Caprador. Yeah, we could flare the Caprador. No shredded sails, right, but we do have a flame spill if we wanted to use it for that. Yeah, we could cut a suffocating fumes. At least it's castable and it cycles, though. I think I kind of like where we're at here. This is 15 lands plus a Savai Crystal plus 6 1-mana cyclers and a bunch of 3 manas. Yeah, I don't want to cut, like, I practically want to bring in the Wilt, you know? Four swamps might be too many. With the Triome, the wilds, I think I want to go 3 swamps and up mountain to help us get our marmosets out on time. Do you think 3 is too many, Swamp Lore? And, you know, you are the expert on swamps here, Swamp Lore, so... We do sometimes want to cast Fumes and Memory Leak, and if we're running Space Godzilla, we literally need it to cycle this. Yeah, I kind of cut that when we were, but we could reconsider that. Maybe over, what was one, like even over the Caprador. Caprador was less interesting. We could do the Enforcer. I'm down with that. Well, the Caprador is odd for Bosch synergies, and thanks. See ya, Fiddles. You want to see what we lose? We lose a lot. We lose Mythos, Pacifism, Zenith Flare, Space Godzilla, all these Vantasaurs, the Enforcer, like 4 of our cycle ones. So I'm not loving that. Enforcer is much harder to cast, but it is a much better card. I'm willing to try it in there, and especially if we keep it 3 swamps. This is a little bit of a greedy mana base, but let's do this. Could cut swamps to 1, but we really want 2, the ability to put 2 swamps out. If we go to 1 swamp, then we are counting, then casting Ultimatum requires the Triome out or requires the Crystal. So I'm going to stick with this. If anything, like I could see cutting this Triome for just another one of the lands, but this is just effectively a mountain, you know. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources, 4, 5, 6, 7, or I didn't count far from it, 7 white sources. You know, we have a lot of good sources. I think this is looking good. Yeah, and I'm never punished. I mean, we got to play into my never punished, right? So let's see. This is Ultimate Companion. Hey, Oni, what's up? I don't know if anybody else had any bling choices, deck box, or anything like that, but I'm gonna go with this here. Did that print screen work? Usually I get a little bit of ding. All right, it worked. All right, let's try this out. That's a good name idea, Fluffy, but I'm moving on here. Maybe I'll come back and change it after we play a little. A little rough, but we do have two cycle ones and a planes. I'm actually going to keep this. We have a lot. We have basically, we get to see 1, 2, 3 cards before we need to hit a second land drop. So we need to find a land in top 3, and we have 15, which is actually a lot for a deck. I mean, not a lot for this deck, but a lot for cycling decks. We're going to keep this, and we're gonna go with the never punished philosophy, right? It's not greedy, data spot. It's correct. If you're like, the point of shaving lands in a cycling deck is that the cycling one allows you to do it. If you're not willing to make these keeps, maybe you shouldn't play the cycling deck. Oh, I'm going to let Oppo choose here on Nipper before I start cycling again. I could keep this for casting. I'm going to cycle the Vantrosaur right now. Ooh, it's the good Triome. And I can't cast the Leak based on this Triome. We may find... I really kind of want to cast this. But I think I'm going to cycle it. Yeah, I think we got to cycle it. I hear you, Flipperoo, but we also have to find our lands. So I'm going to give ourselves maximum chance at that. Probably cycle this Go for Blood, too. Okie doke. Now we'll go Marm. If we can, well, we can actually start with a Tactician. One thing, we have Death Touch, which counter on a first strike is crazy, crazy good. We have 2 Tacticians. So maybe I'm actually gonna, this is unusual for me. Normally I would want to lead with my Marmoset and let them use removal or counter spells on that first, but I'm gonna do Tactician now because we have a backup Tactician, and I actually value the Marmoset more highly than usual because of the ability to put Death Touch on it. So we did get our first attempt countered, and that's, again, that was the plan, so that's fine. Practically want to just run Obosh out there because it's another one that if they have the count, like, but actually I'd rather have Obosh land than Marmoset. So I'm going to go Marmoset. All right, it landed. That's good. Although we're kind of leaking info here. 2 mana up from the cycling deck with no pause is screaming that we're out of cycling. So I've tapped my control to do a full control here to at least make them think, oh, okay, we could cycle, but oh, what's the point, right? If they were really paying attention, they would probably see that as a full control bluff, but I like tossing those in to make sure, keep your oppos on their toes about what your capabilities are. Now we have the cycle 2, so we don't need to do anything. Ooh, wow. Whenever this mutates, exile cards. Yeah, I could have Obosh there, that's true. But now we're gonna have to take a big hit here, and then we're gonna hope that Snare Tactician keeps that down, or Flying Trample gets it out of the way of even our Death Touch Marmoset. But a couple of lands, and we could ultimatum away our problems, and in the meantime, if we do get a land, we can Snare Tactician and even Death Touch cycle, or just Snare Tactician Coordinated Charge cycle. So if the Snare Tactician lives, we should still be okay. No, I don't want to cycle charge because I want to do it when we have the Snare Tactician down and can actually tap this beast. Triome produces red. That's good. Gets us to ultimatum, closer to ultimatum, because this can then produce the double black, and then we need black. It opens up our options of what we can draw to cast the ultimatum. Basically, then a mountain doesn't help us, but everything else does. And we do get Snare Tactician, cycle charge here, so I'm going to play the land. Oops. Drop the Tactician and be prepared to charge down the flying 6/6. Yeah, it is interesting they chose to hand when they don't have anything to mutate back onto the battlefield yet, but now we kind of want to see Oppo overcommit so that we can really get him with the ultimatum. Yeah, we started with the ultimatum. This was pack 1, pick 1, and then pieces for cycling headed our way. All right, well, so now we have ultimatum next turn. We want to encourage them to basically cast whatever. With Obosh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can Obosh and cycle. So let's just drop Obosh. Crash in, cycle down their big guy, and then ultimatum next turn. Provided no counter spells, that seems like an excellent result. Yeah, Robert, we drafted this morning. Can you believe it? You're late. Now, we have red, we have black, white, we have white. So we need black or white off of the Evolving Wilds. Oh yeah, that's true. We should crack first to thin our library of lands. We just don't want red. That's the one we can't get, and we're gonna take swamp. One reason to take a swamp is we can hardcast Space Godzilla, although we can do that with this too, so didn't really matter again. Swamp or Plains was what we needed. Ha! Interesting. Okay. Well, I was going to do that, but okay. Wow, that they really brutalized themselves for that. And now I'm just going to memory leak. I'm going to hardcast Memory Leak, and then we can hardcast Suffocating Fumes, and then hardcast Space Godzilla, and hardcast Winning. Ooh, back for more. Is obviously what we have to get rid of here, and obviously what they were up to. Although, you know, we could let them have it. If we let them have back for more, they're going to return their big thing, and then we just ruin this ultimatum. Is that too obvious? If we let them have the Whisper, we have to lose one of these cards. Oh, it's exiled. It's exiled. So what can they even get back for more? They can get a Mothra? Yeah, they can have the back for more, right? They have a Mothra. Whatever. That's true. Oh, yeah, a Cocoon, not even a Mothra, just the Cocoon. We just exile their big thing. Is this exile? Let's just destroy. Yeah, I like taking the Whisperer. Yeah, but if we fumes the Nipper, no, if we fumes the Nipper, then Back from War is good because it can kill Space Godzilla. I'm gonna take the Back from War. It's actually scarier to me because whatever, I just don't cast the fumes, or we just discard the fumes and then ultimatum. We don't even need to do it now. Yeah, cast fumes and they can't mutate. Well, we could have solved that. We could have done that in response anyway. If that's what we want to do, we can do that in response. It means their creature's a mana cheaper or whatever, but that's okay. They're gonna do it this way though. Let's just fumes. Not if you if it fails to mutate, you don't. Haj, right? We kill the mutate out from underneath and then it lands, but then we don't. Oh man, this game's too easy. Like, I want a Runus Ultimatum, but we have a cheaper card that can do it instead. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you were saying it would make me discard anyway, Haj. And we can pay with the extra too. So we'll pay the pay with the white blue also. Style points, you know. Could be this deck's actually just good Fenor and not, quote, greedy. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Well, I kind of want to wait. We're one land away from just casting this. Yeah, if we don't need to, we just won't use that. We're at 8 though, so I'm actually going to pacify Prophet, I think. Yeah, we're a little ahead on library, but as a cycling deck, we're likely to overtake them. Yeah, if they want to do that, that's fine. But they may be looking for more shenanigans that would get them out of this mess. We have the ultimatum that's kind of an ultimate answer to that, though. So we can let them go for their graveyard game, I think. How about a land, and then we can just make Space Godzilla and get on with it. Zenith Flare. Well, Fenrir wants to ultimatum now. Yeah, I guess that leaves us with a Flare and a Space Godzilla. I was hoping to not show them this, but I think this is fine. I don't think they concede, but maybe they concede to this. Woodrow says we're at 16. We're at 16 if we have to cast the Flare last turn, but by ultimatuming, we can hold the Flare for their face. Do we just go to the face? I think they probably don't have a counterspell, but to be technically correct, we'll do it on their turn, on their upkeep. True. I'm okay with it. Let's give them all sorts of things to be afraid of in game 2. And what are we going after them? They got Skull Prophet ramping. They got an extinction event of their own we need to keep in mind, but they're basically Sultai Mutate. And with Cocoon and maybe an expectation of Symbiote, we could bring in I think we bring in Blade Banish. I don't think we bring in Caprador because of Back for More. They're just not going to fight Caprador, right? Oh, Exile. Yeah, we can remind ourselves of everything going on in Exile. That was this one, the big king here. And what are we cutting for that? Yes, I can cut a Fumes. I really don't like to cut the cycling, but it's a pretty easy one of to do. There's talk of Dark Bargain. I do think this is a reasonable consideration as well. Yeah, I could take out a different cycle too. Like, actually, Coordinated Charge is less of a good cast for us than the -1. So yeah, we can cut a charge if we're going to cut a 2 cycle. And I'm just going to run it back like this. I feel like we should probably get Dark Bargain in somehow, but I'm running out of time, so I'm going to forego that decision for now. I guess I didn't forego the decision. I made it. The answer was no. All right, no black yet, but we can cast Obosh on red, and we have our turn 3 Marmoset and one of our better cards in hand, so easy keep. Hey, Magic, thank you for the host. Hello, Watsy folk. I do want a 4th land, so I might go ahead and cycle the Fumes, but maybe I'll be greedy and cycle it with a Marmoset out and get in some extra damage. We're in a tough spot because a lot of our action is odd. I think we could make an argument for not sending out both Marmosets, but I'm probably going to put out Tactician and Marmoset, or Marmoset and Obosh. But I am going to cycle here. No, that's what I was saying. I wasn't sure. I'm going to be greedy. All right, all right. So, yeah, what do we do? If we're going to cycle, we could wait on the land, but even if we find a land, I'm going to play this land and not cycle it. So I think we start with... also, they got a lot of land up, so maybe we do just send in, cycle, and play a land and pass, and then we are doing damage, we're being proactive. Okay, and they're going to Dark Bargain and let us know that we can do whatever we want. So given that, I think I'll just go casting one of our 3s. I think I'll throw down a Tactician, and then we'll see what we can do with Tactician, Marmoset, and these Fumes and the cycling until they answer those problems. Yeah, very weird time to cast that. Maybe they were trying to figure out what they're up to. Does that mean... All right, what does that mean? They chumped the Farfinder. They're not going to reanimate that, are they? And if they're going to extinct, like, I'm pretty good with... You really think they're going to one for a Marmoset? And that's what that trade was about? I think maybe they have it eventually. Well, we're going to play this. Boy, this is tough. Yeah, 3 CMC innovation. Yeah, I like James's guess. We saw that 3 mana Reanimator, right? That seems more likely as to what they were doing. I'm going to go ahead and do the Tactician play here. If they want to use an Extinction event to 2-for-1 us, all things considered, that's not bad. We have a good follow-up situation. They use their whole turn to do it. But I like James's read. I think they're just trying to reanimate the Farfinder to help boost their mana. And, yep, good call, James. Good call, James. Don't have black to -1/-1 here. We do have Vantressor, though, to tap down. I'm going to tap down with Fumes and get in with both. Hopefully we'll cast the other Fumes, but right now we don't have black, so we're going to cycle. And given lack of black, I think we probably cycle Leak and Vantressor here to get in a ton of damage and find our next land drop. Yeah, I'm going big hit time. Also, we have Flare we're trying to fuel, so we should cycle. And actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll cycle both of these. Solaris, thank you for the host. I really appreciate that. Welcome, viewers from Solaris. We are kind of on a weird cycling deck here. It's like light, medium cycling with some heavy hitters, nothing to do with cycling, like Obosh, that kind of thing. But anyway, we're getting in a big smack here. Kento, it worked! It worked! They were listening to the bonus LR episode and decided to come hang out since I stream in the mornings. Welcome! Sometimes... Hey, somebody found the new thing! Look, I made a change. What do you think? Oh, come on, black mana right now, please. Black mana, please! All I want to do is Fumes. Don't worry, East. You have, anybody can get the rat anytime they want it. They just have to spend some channel points. As opposed to that, which did not have channel points. All right. Well, we did not find what I was hoping for, which is a swamp to just wreck them here. But they are also in kind of a touchy spot. Do we go ahead and cycle the Fumes? I think we do. Well, the thing is, if we cycle into cycle, we can attack with a Tactician too. So I shouldn't have played that though, because now I might. I'm roping and distracted here, but I shouldn't have played that land yet if I'm going to do this. But I guess it doesn't matter because then we're not going to have the card to cast anyway. See, now I'm going to cycle again. And do this. Winning works. Oh, if you guys don't know where that sub thing is, yeah, that's my daughter. Razor wants the rat burglar for old time. You got it.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rat burglar.
And for those of you, also this is something, even those of you who know what's up with the sub song, you may not know that last night, another one for Deathrite, you got it. I'll get right there with it. Hold on. Yes, that's what Hat just posted. Oh no, wait, that's not the one I want. Hat. Check this out, Hat. So Hat linked the video, but here, the one I just linked is the premiere of the video on stream. So if you want to see Stream's reaction to the video, you're going to want to watch that one. There's the reaction video. All right, well, that ultimate deck worked out well so far. And yes, I love the rat too. But come on, the sub clip is perfect.
I never heard of ya, a rat burglar.
Little rough, but I can't quite throw this. We do have Tactician and Marmoset. But I'm going to keep it. Yes, D, I updated the sub, so it's this now. Do we cycle this Leak? We have Marmoset, Tactician, and the mana for it all, but we don't have the mana for Tactician on 4 tapping for Marmoset. But I'm going to give it a chance for a natural land draw. Oh well, D, get over it. You're not alone, but... not the right choice. Guess what D earned? Oh yeah, I definitely should have played Plains in case we found a swamp. Sorry, loose play. Well, I took the chance. I'm going to risk it. Ooh, I got lucky. We found a land, so we can Tactician and begin the cycling. Although in this case, I'm just going to attack with a Marmoset and let them decide if they want to have something die. Huh, they don't. Do we care about this? Are we just racing? I kind of feel like we're just racing. I'm going to cycle the Vantasaur here. A land we can play or a land we can cycle depending on what we think of things. Because we can also drop Tactician, cycle Leak, and double tap. This is something we want, like, we're only we only have 3 lands towards an ultimatum right now. The third mountain and the triome, this triome, don't help this ultimatum at all, by the way, so we should keep that in mind. That's why I was deciding, Yankum, whether we're racing or not. I decided we were racing and I wanted the extra damage. So we will go ahead and try to cycle that triome. And now that they're showing a nice competitor in the race here with the Ivy Elemental, we will... Although, you know, I can attack with it and just take the 2. I'll at least do that. I mean, they won't block. Oh, maybe. I don't generally put my Tacticians at risk, so if I inherently just didn't block with my Tactician, it's out of total fear, like... They have a dead weight or something. I don't want to lose. Like, to me, Tacticians are like enchantments unless they're attacking into a clear board. You know what I mean? So Swim Down says I should have blocked the 1. I should have talked about not blocking the 1, but I don't regret not blocking it. Oh, they were tapped out. Yeah, then I could have done it. I didn't see that part. As I said, I didn't see it. I was just saying my gut, though, is that I just never block with Tacticians. Clearly, that's wrong if they're tapped out. This says, look at the top card. You put that in your graveyard. Exit card. That doesn't seem that great. Do we care? That helps with the ultimatum. Get some swamp action going there. We can cycle. I like double cycle as opposed to like casting the charge, although we can cast the charge and get in an extra 6. But like double cycle gets in extra damage and also like controls Oppo's board. I think we cycle the triome now and then hold the charge. Cycle Strands Ultimatum. I don't know what you mean by that exactly, but let's also... Well, yeah, I'm gonna activate this. Oh yeah, no, not that triome. That's why I'm eager to cycle it. Glad you liked it, Data Spot. And could have cycled again for a little extra damage, but I like where we're at here. They're really needing to do something strong right now. Bushmeat Poacher. Pretty good, but I'm not afraid of that. I wrote all the lyrics. If you want to see the lyrics, Stephen, there's a link to the old lyrics and new lyrics in the notes of the YouTube video, so you can go look that up. Crystal can cast the ultimatum, but might not need to. I mean, winning is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, we could play the Crystal and have ultimatum next turn, or we could just, like, win target game. How about win target game? Don't need to show him anything. Showing off with Snare Tacticians. That card is dumb. So, we've got another kind of Sultai, well, more like 5-color, all-color cycling. Yeah, looks like a Sultai core, but 5-color Sultai mutate. We could bring in a Blade Banish. We did that before. Keep talking about this Dark Bargain and how it might have a home, but might be under some pressure where bargaining is hurtful. I kind of like the Blade Banish back in. And one Fumes out again. Charge was a little better here. Fumes didn't have a lot of targets. I'll do this. This is game 2. We are up a game. I'm working on some UI updates too that should expose things like how many games I have in the current match. With cycling 1 here and the Mythos, I'm going to keep. All right, that gets us all our mana if we need it. And we're going to cycle Go for Blood here, though. Probably hard casting this on 3. All right, found our planes anyway. Trucking straight towards an ultimatum here with what we've got going on. And tools to survive to get there. Got no pressure yet, but we've got removal, finisher removal, and ramp to ultimate removal. Mountain, like the worst draw in our deck because it doesn't help with ultimatums. But we'll hard cast this. Flying Dolphins. So long and thanks for all the fish. Can't get a 2-for-1 here, so I'm going to wait and see if they offer us a 2-for-1 before our next turn. Cycle a charge, if nothing else here. Parcel Beast mutating on the Dolphin. Well, we know what we're going to do with our Mythos now. Probably going to activate, though, because it looks like they're land light. Yeah, they're looking for land here. There isn't a 2-year badge, though. I don't think. I think there's a 3-year badge, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I clearly haven't looked that far ahead. I didn't know I was going to need a 2-month badge. Oppo in the tank with... What is... this always worries me. Am I locked? You all hear me, right? What's going on here? The game says it's on Oppo, but this is a weird no action from the game. There's no rope happening. If you look at where I'm at, like, it says opponent's turn, it doesn't show the hourglass. Okay, there's... All right. As long as it's roping on them. I'm going to hold Nantuko because it's at least showing action here. And it's showing it on them. Worst case, I file a reimbursement request, right? Alright. I'm going to cycle the charge. Yeah, it seemed like I might be frozen, but looks like we're okay now. And looks like we have ultimatum mana. 1, 2, 3 white, 2 red, and 2 black. I suppose not. We could have found something we wanted to cast. If I was going to cycle that, I should have done it in our main. I'm going to get this beast dead, though. Although, we are literally going to ultimatum next turn, probably. Yes, you can, Pajaman. If something goes wrong and you want justice, you can do it. Yeah, I think we just pass with the ultimatum ready. Let's just lure him into the mega ultimatum. I'm going to find you your reporting link. Here you go. If you have an issue with Arena, you want to report it at the link I just pasted. I agree, Fiddles. That new sub notification is indeed awesome. And anybody who feels otherwise can keep it to themselves. Because that's what it's going to be now. I want them to develop their board so we can wreck them. How am I supposed to wreck them if they won't develop their board? So annoying. Well, I guess I'm going to get a... I'm going to get a swamp, actually, because we do have the general in here that needs... that needs swamps to activate. So we'll do that. I know it means we don't ruin us this turn, but I don't want to ruin us this turn. Although I kind of just want to blow the parcel beast up now. Let's do this and let him build the board. The idea that we're never going to see the rat burglar again or anything is nonsense. Anybody can pay any time within my daily limits to have the rat burglar show up. And anytime that type of effect is reprinted, we can... Anyway, plenty of time. Nobody's going to say to themselves, it's been months since I saw the rat burglar on Going Optimal. Unless, you know, you stay away for months. Well, we don't even need this anymore. Let's cycle it and see.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
And there we go. We actually get something to play. Don't have any more cycling, but at least we have something to play. Not many. Honestly, Yankum, not many. But, you know, it's a cycling deck. Well, is it? It's a cycling-ish deck. Again, I don't usually block with my tactician, and I'm not going to hear. They can have it. We have so much backup plan. And there's the enforcer. That's nice. Let's see. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7. Don't get 2 activations. Couldn't do it anyway. But we'll do... Well, I'll attack first. Doesn't, like, give humans +1, no. All right. Oppo has some instant speed stuff, but in a set with cycling, that's hard to, you know, can't really tell much about that. Yeah, it could be 4-2 flash, but again, yeah, Brian, when it's a cycling set, who knows what the pause is? Yeah, they don't know about the ultimatum. How do I pay? I go resolve and then pay? Okay. We don't have any looting, do we? We don't even have, like, the, we don't have the Cathartic Reunion, we don't have... Basically, my point is I can play the land. I mean, we might want it for discard purposes. They are Reach Mutate. Yeah, we don't have anything, but I probably should have held it because they might do the Cavern Whisper. We'd have to give up the pacifism then, but losing pacifism when you have a Ruinous Ultimatum follow-up is no big deal. And now we can block because they're tapped out. This time I looked. See how that worked? This time I looked. Tactician could get us in for some damage now. Could also just ultimatum now, but I think passing with the plan to cycle to tap and graveyard exile to make dudes is fine. I'm going to be a little more greedy because we just have the tools to survive here. Yeah. All hail greed. I guess we cycle this. We want to build this flare up. Although do we need to do it now? I mean, they can't really attack with any of this stuff, so I don't even need to do it now. Let them attack from here. Well, it can't attack, so if we're gonna tap Poacher, we can do that at the end of their turn. Is my thinking. Ember B, and then we can have Zenith Flare up and still cycle here. Playing Vantasaur is fine, but I don't, you know, like, we're going to create an army with the Enforcer. We're going to eliminate their entire board with the Ultimatum. Like, actually having that 3/6 is not that big a deal to me, and I'd almost rather have the bigger Flare. As it is, let's do this. No more cycling, so this Tactician doesn't do much, but now we could go ahead and... I like Ultimatum now. great value, and yeah, they just were done. Yeah, we could have done Farfinder, play land, and then do that reasonable line. All right. Trying to find our second 3-0. I think it's a little fancy play. I mean, obviously, just going for it there was plenty advantageous in their minds. I guess they didn't have some big bomb. We're going to keep this. It's funny, it looks like a Rakdos deck here, but we're going to be doing some cycling on the way to Obosh. That was what I was thinking, Pajamin, that, like, if you keep the pacifism and wipe the board, you basically, they need 2 creatures before they can block again. I was working on it this morning, but didn't get it prime time ready. This week, though, for sure. Cycle. Gotta find our planes.
I said sup, 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 sup.
Thank you for that sub. Appreciate it, Kenja. All right, it's the good land, and I'm gonna play it, I think. We do need our white, and getting it next turn will be nice. We could keep Flame Spill. If we play a mountain, we could keep Flame Spill up, but I'm gonna get our white mana going. And always remember, the third mountain is useless for Ruinous, so a third mountain does not count towards Ruinous casting. Gnar probably ought to die, although we could also pacify it, and then if they want to mutate onto the Gnar, they're just making a 3/3. Like, if they want to mutate onto this, they're making 3/3s. That seems okay. Marmoset lets us get on board, but then we risk them mutating here. But if I was happy with pacifying it and letting them make 3/3s, I could pacify it after, and that would be okay. Brian just wants to flame it. Yeah, we could do that. I feel like passive is just about as good, but it's not like we can cast a second spell if we pacify over Flame Spill, so actually we would be using our mana better to do Flame Spill. Cheese just wants to get Marmoset down and not worry about the Gnar, especially if we have Ruinous eventually, but, you know, killing their Gnar gets us to Ruinous. If we get to Ruinous, we're probably going to win, so I'm fine with doing that. Next turn, we can pacify in Marmoset. Whereas if we do anything else, we can't, you know, we can't Flame Spill in Marmoset next turn. Now we definitely want to Marm so that they don't get a card, they get a counter. We could just pacify this, but it doesn't stop it from cycling, so we don't care. We're gonna let them have a 2/3. I suppose I could do an Ambosh where our shields are down. I'm in my head, I'm like setting up Marmoset Tactician and then dropping Obosh to make them all amazing, but maybe I should just play the 6/5. Well, that's handy. Let's do that. Not going to cycle the Vantasaur because next turn we can play the Snare Tactician, cycle it, and attack for 4 through any blocker they come up with here. With land, we could also just play the Vantasaur, but I still like being aggro. Man, we are a lot of white away from the ultimatum. It's our biggest requirement here. Just want to Obosh. We could Obosh. That certainly does the trick. It also doubles the power. Yeah, all right, I'm in. We could cycle and get like, 8, but I don't want to do that. I do want to save the cycling for the Tactician. They do get a card here, but that's the first thing they've got out of the empathy, really. So far the empathy has just replaced itself. Okay. Now, let's tap the Naturalist so that to prevent obscene amounts of damage, they actually need to block with the Heron. I don't think it's win more in the sense that it doesn't just take you from being in a winning position to like over the top. It sometimes helps you develop and grow and no, I think it's not just win more. There we go. We could pacify the Heron, but right now both of our attacks attack through the Heron. It's a chump, so I'm not going to use pacify on what would be a chump. Shore Shark, interesting. So now, I guess they bounce. Doesn't really matter. We still have it's still lethal if they try to block, the main thing. Yes, I'm at a standing desk, and it is only more comfortable because of the mat that I'm on. Anybody, if you've tried a standing desk and didn't like it, you haven't actually tried a standing desk until you've done so using one of these floor mats. This is the thing that makes my standing desk functional. I could not use it without it. All right, anyway. Let's go ahead and play the other Tactician. So now it's been a divination. They've gotten a divination out of their empathy. It's been a while since I sat down. Sometimes when I stream long, I sit down because it's actually not good to stand indefinitely or like all day at a standing desk. You should mix it up. Okay, that's obviously impressive, but so is Ruinous Ultimatum if we can find one more white source. I'm going to cycle. If we cycle off of red and find white, it'll do the thing. So I'm going to start here. I know it kind of wastes the tap, but I really do want to find our friend, the white source. All right, well, now we'll use that to tap on their turn at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can't cast Obosh and Cycle Tap, but we can cast Marmoset. Maybe. I like Pacifism on Starix, because that can pay for Convolute, and then we can test the waters for Convolute. And then we go Marmoset. Or I like Fume. I still like Fumes here. Maybe. I guess they're not going to do too much. I just don't want to. I guess they can't mutate onto the Naturalist and Pacified. I love chat. Why Pacify? Why not Pacify? Because I didn't find the ultimatum here. Ultimatum mana, so stopping this from attacking for a turn felt reasonable. Because then we can play Marmoset. I'm going to play Marmoset now. Yes, but not play Marmoset. That's true. I could have cycled to tap. This lets us be proactive. I can cycle on my turn with this. That's one reason. I mean, it doesn't really matter, gang. Like, this is the best spot for a pacifism, and holding the cycling allows us to cycle proactively on our own turn. Okay, maybe on scatter, but I guess we could Obosh first. Let's Obosh first and see if that's what's going on. They had a saving play, and they're drawing a lot of cards. I still think eventually we're just going to win off of Ruinous, unless they convolute. Still okay if we can get a Plains. Really want to get him here. Come on. Where's our Plains? That qualifies. We could extract from their hand, but I think we just quadruple tap them on their turn and then untap an ultimatum. And it also unlocks this tactician. Is it GG? Maybe I should like try to find GG. Let's see. I'm being too defensive, huh? We have tap, tap. Yeah, we can cycle twice and win. Sorry. Thanks for calling that out. I was getting all ultimatumy, but we can just we can cycle and win. Just win. Boring old chat. Ooh, now we can even... I don't think they can have anything for 1 mana, so it doesn't really matter. All right. A little tighter than I needed to make it, maybe, but... And some controversy around whether to use pacifism there. Didn't cost us, but we'll think about that. In the meantime, we could even bring in a wilt over, like, suffocating fumes. Fumes didn't look very good there, but wilt would be. Yeah, I like banish in. Talked about Dark Bargain in. I do want this banish. Probably means we cut another... I don't want to cut two... Well, I guess we added a cycler, so we can cut 1 cycler and still be at pretty reasonable cycling. Nah, I don't want to run a Forest Sengir. We're trying to cast an ultimatum. You really don't want to run any lands that at least can't contribute to the casting of an ultimatum. Our big problem is that we have a higher mountain count than the ultimatum really wants. But we have a higher mountain count because the rest of the deck really wants it. I'll keep this. 3 ultimatum deck sounds fun. Perfect land here. Well, cycling number floor, like, for what? To feel like you have a good cycling deck? To feel like, you know, yeah, 1 Jeskai, 2 Ruinous, I could see being in the same deck. That makes a lot of sense. I'd like to try and get value as a naturalize effect from this wilt, but too important to just keep going here. I mean, we could wait in that we have Tactician, but what I want is to find like a Marmoset to cast on 3. All right, no Marmoset on 3, but we will offer them a Tactician. They're blue-green, so they tend to interact via ram through and bounce, you know, fighting effects and bouncing effects. So we'll see if they can even handle the Tacticians here. That's one way to handle it. All right. I like how we're developing our ultimatum mana. And we get Tactician with Go for Blood, tapping 2 things now. That's pretty absurd. Draw 2 for 1. That's a good divination right there. I don't care if they attack. I'm gonna let them attack. You wanna attack? Bring it. Not even blocking. Probably have a ram through that they would love to turn into removal. Oh, okay, you're doing that. I'm okay with that too. Gives us a window for Obosh to come down. And I'll go ahead and tap their tappers. Oh, wait. Now I got to figure out which... Okay, that one's tapping that one, so we want to tap this one. Oh, now we've got too much black for the ultimatum, if we find it. Definitely going Obosh while shields are down, though. Although the problem with the Shore Shark is that it kind of means that we can expect this to get bounced again. If they do that, it might take their mana up, though. And then we can maybe Tactician go for blood, or even Obosh go for blood on the same turn coming up. I'm going to go for it now, though. Just feels like this is going to get bounced again, but I don't know what else to do. There is a tension on using this to fight or using this to tap. But right now, I like the using this to tap. We'll be a little more circumspect with this one on whether we want to use it to activate Snare Tacticians or have Obosh fight something. That is not a card I mind being Capture Sphered, if so long as we can survive. So long as we can survive. So now we're flooding a bit. We're going to play the Evolving Wilds after we verify Tactician resolves. And now I think I like just go for blooding the Shore Shark. It keeps Obosh alive, kills this, and we get double damage, and they get their big mutator is gone. And definitely getting a planes here, and then we're set to ultimate as soon as we get an ultimatum. If we want to. Right now it wouldn't even be very good, but that's good for us. All right, with charge, I'm gonna say no attack, and I want to be defensive with it. I'm gonna tap the Mammoth and see what else they can do. You want to dig now? I want to dig in such a way that we can tap their attackers. That's the thing, East. You're choosing between finding action on your main phase versus being defensive with your 8-point life total. So yeah, we got to be defensive with our 8-point life total. I get it. Like, we could try to set up lethal with that, but again, I just think we need, you know... All right. Like this a lot. Unfortunately, we can't get two things unless we get two readers. That's not correct. So we're going to go ahead and take out the Heron. Oh, wait. I forgot. We double... no, it doesn't double it. It's not odd. Whew. Almost screwed up and then re-screwed up. If this had been an odd spell, we would get to deal 10 damage effectively, which is pretty sweet, but it is not odd, so we don't get to do that. We can Mythos just the Heron then. And I would send a Tactician, but then we'd be dead to a Ram Through, and we know they have Ram Throughs, so we're gonna hold back our Tacticians, and I'm gonna throw some control bluffs, although pretty obvious. We would try to. Pretty obvious that when we don't tap down their attackers, that we in fact don't have the cycling. Go to 2, and then we need a top deck or we start chumping. Telegraphed Convolute right there. Can I not target two things and pacify the mammoth? With what? What's your plan? I don't know how you're coming up with those plays with the cards we have. Well, we literally saw a convolute last game, is what I'm saying. So that's why I'm predicting convolute. Oh, but it's not even convolute. It was just empathy. And now that's a great draw for us. Unfortunately, they're going to be out drawing us, but we can now tap two things and continue to look for a way through. Tight, tight, tight. But we could totally get there. What's our 1, 2, 3, 4? So and 5. Basically, a Zenith Flare is worth 10 to us. Oh no, but Zenith Flare is also even, so it is still 5. And I'm gonna pass, and we can cycle this again. We might need to wait though and continue doing this defensively. All right. Wow, bricked. That's cool. Gigan bricked. I'm gonna cycle. We need some help here. This will tap down 6/6, and we can, you know, but we gotta find some of our big action. Oh, do we lose our ultimatum? I didn't see that. Darn it. That's bad. That was our big plan. I gotta save that, I guess, defensively. Maybe we can still get there, but we need. Tap, tap. Block, yeah. How do we win now? That's a great question. General's Enforcer, a steady stream of like a Marmoset into a Void Beckoner would do a lot of work. If we need to cycle into cycle, maybe I'm supposed to cycle now, looking for... Now, I think we got to just go... Yeah, but maybe we need to attack. Like, this is super bold. Trouble is, if we literally don't hit the other cycler, we just lose. I think we have to wait. Yeah, I want to be bold, but this puts us to having to have a cycler on top, and that's just not reliable enough. That's lowering our win percentage. $14 to $13. That's not true, though. We can get other stuff. We can make draws that actually help us win. Well, now we gotta... I don't know if we have instant speed removal. Let's see if there's anything to find. Pacifism, Farfinder, Snare Condition, Memory Release. Oh, Flame Spill is instant. So we can still look for a Flame Spill and Zenith Flare. So let's cycle in a way that allows us to cast that. So we want... oh, we can't cast the Zenith Flare, so we just need to make sure we can cast the Flame Spill. Oh, did do that tap the same thing? Thank you for that. All right, now we're dead, because now even if we find... Here's the Flame Spill, though. Interesting that I didn't tap again. What do you mean? Would you have tapped there? You were gonna cycle and tap a 2/2 that you could block and eat? Well, let's run it back. Yeah, but they needed a trick. They needed just that. You don't think me waiting, letting them attack was correct? But if we don't find another cycling, we need that cycler that I didn't use to not die next turn. I'm going to run this back, I think. All right, we can keep this. It's got all of our mana. I'm going to play the Triome first because we still want to draw land. I'm going to cycle first. Although it wouldn't actually change what land I play. If we found a basic land, it's not like I'm going to play it. I'm still going to play the Evolving Wilds, so I'm just going to play the Wilds. And we should crack for white as the thing that's most needed in the... yeah, we need 2 black, right? But I think I'm not worried about Ultimatum right now, and I think white's the best color for us to get. But we can also cycle first, get a little info before we do. And... I'm going to go cycling 2, because if we find a basic land, I will also cycle the Gopher Blood, although it doesn't... I guess that doesn't matter which way we do it. I guess we're more likely to eventually cast the Gopher Blood anyway. Cool. Found land. Pretty good flip for us, in the sense, some quality stuff that glad they don't have. We still need mana though, so I'm not going to mess around recycling this Gopher Blood looking for land. And I guess we go Marmoset, and then if we do find land, we can potentially Tactician Marmoset, or we add another Marmoset. Oppo lost a pretty good card there in Gigan, or Gyruda, as it is in real Magics. All right. I'm going to go another Marmoset, though. Let's see what they do in the face of a couple of First Strikers that we can turn into 8 points of First Strike on our side. Shark. Bounce Shark. Heron. Okay. That's pretty good. We might just Zenith Flare that though. Second game we're in, or sorry, we're in game 3 here, game 3. And I'm gonna hold. Okay, that's cool. Because now I can go play the land, play Tactician, and they might get another mutate on the Heron, but then we can flare it and do some defensive cycling here. Oppo has good stuff they are digging for sure. But pitching creatures, that's good, means they don't have a lot of land to spare to pitch to the reader. Probably not. It's an uncommon we hadn't seen and is a pretty unlikely result. Well, now we need to really deal with that thing. Flare not even big enough now. Wilt. Can't cast this one, but we can again do defensive cycling. In fact, we can even do some offensive here. But Wilt, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we find a land, we end up getting all possibilities there. And yeah, we can swing because we have multiple, but I think I want to swing with just one Marmoset. We swing with one and leave one back. Apply pressure, but also have very strong defense, and puts us in a spot where pretty good regardless of how they react here. Probably will just cycle the Vantrasaur or the Wilt here. I do want to find another land. We also want to find our ultimatum. Well, that's interesting, but a little off on timing, Tactician. Really wanted to land there. Now we're going to defensive cycle next turn with the Wilt, and then have Snare Tactician, Zenith Flare. Zenith Flare needs to resolve. If they can counter the Zenith Flare that we're trying to get this Starix with, we're in trouble. If we can Zenith Flare the Starix, I like our chances. Or if we can, find and resolve Ultimatum, I really like our chances. Oops. I was thinking I had two taps. That's why I did it that way. Darn. That was just a punt. I really thought I had 2 taps, and I was going to go tap, tap. Now we've got a block 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Are we risking? All right, they're doing that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, shoot. Now we have a flare on 6, though, so we can get a lot back. And we still have to say no blocks, though. If they get us, they get us. Sorry, gang. Just, in my head, I was doing the right thing. Too bad we don't have Flare plus Cycle. We could go Tactician, but all of our cycling is 3. So we're going to go to 8, 6, but then we kind of need to... We're forced into a chump. Yeah, I think we'd probably just play the land, although... because we have to flare, though, right? So we flare and then chump Tactician because we have an extra. If they have the convolute, they can convolute now or on their turn. So we are going to wait and try to do this during combat. If they've got the convolute, we've already lost. Well, it wasn't a misclick. It was a misbrain. Like, I misread. My brain got the board state wrong. Rule of Magic wants to flare before combat. I mean, to what end? What are you trying to accomplish, Rule of Magic? Why before combat? I mean, if we do before draw, that makes some sense. I get that they could draw it, but then we're still doing it on draw step, not before, quote, before combat. That's... Certainly we're waiting till their turn.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
And also I want them to maybe not send the mole. I mean, here's why I'm doing it. I'm giving them a chance at drawing the convolute in hopes that they don't attack with the moles. If we wait till attacks, they might not send the moles, and that's really good for us if they don't send the moles. That's why I'm doing it this way. Although now they're drawing 4, and they may find that convolute. All right. Now we have to do this. It's just now they get a clean attack. If they read the board, they can see they can swing away with the moles. Actually, I probably just double block and we let them take which one they want. They probably take the Tactician, which is the thing we have backup of anyway. And if they only send... Yeah, I'm still going to double block the mole. I know that I don't want to lose them. Oh, okay, see what they're doing. It's like they're offering the mole. It's because of that. All right, well, lucky us. We're still okay. We're going to cycle Space Godzilla onto Marmoset, and then next turn have Snare Tactician Memory Leak for the triple tap. And could attack, probably won't block, but can't risk it. Okay, I have, chat, 2 taps, and we're going to give this creature Death Touch, and I'm tapping 2 things. 2 things, everybody. 2 things, right? Two different flying things, Razor. Can we win next turn with Obosh and a cycle? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we just win next turn with Obosh. Oh, now we don't. If they get enough blockers, we don't. Or if they attack. Ultimatum would be awesome. Ugh, saw gold, had some hope. As it is, though, we're still doing okay. I think we need to hold on Obosh, though. We're going to go Tactician, Enforcer, and Cycle Memory Leak. So there was a pause there. They let it go. Now we're going to offer Enforcer. Hopefully they counter this. They didn't. Yeah, it could be Shore Shark. But even with Shore Shark, we have 3 Tacticians, so we get to tap the Flyers. They didn't pump into their Ivy Elemental, so they left 4 mana. Yeah, it seemed clearly like Shore Shark given the mana used. But again, we're okay-ish. Maybe we're not okay-ish. Let's see. We might have to do some Tactician chumping or something, but okay-ish. I think Tongo is mostly right, D. You didn't say I couldn't. He said he appreciates that I pretty much never get frustrated, and I think that's largely true. Pretty much true. Tap Flyer, tap Flyer. Pacifism is good. Maybe they don't know about Death Strike over there. I'll just say it. Death Strike. I got Death Strike. If they have another Avian Oddity, we tip our caps, you know? I think they just didn't realize what's going to happen to them. Oppo doing some reading. Feel free to shame scoop, Oppo. Flame Spill is great, because now we can take care of the air. And Flame Spill is odd, so Obosh, it deals extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we Obosh, we cannot Flame Spill. We can Tactician and Flame Spill. Tactician doesn't actually do anything. We can Flame Spill Enforce. I think we need to Flame Spill Pacify and take care of the air here. Right? And to that end, we will pacify the high toughness and Flame Spill on the on the 3/3. And I guess we actually should Flame Spill first right now in case of Convolute. We don't have cycling for their turn exactly, so So we're going to do this in case they convolute, we can pay for it. And that no pause means they don't have convolute, so that's good. We're going to pacify the flyer. And argument for sending in the marmoset, but I think we continue to play this patiently. Yeah, we can go full control to represent or put stops on here. Again, though, they'll figure it out as soon as we don't tap anything for combat. Yeah, they got 3 to our 14. Unusual that the non-cycling deck is the one close to the edge, but they've cast 2 excavation moles and stuff. And we're not the deep cycling deck. We're kind of light cycling here. Oppo in the tank is a good sign for us. Maybe they just don't have the gas to get there from here, but we're at 3, so it's very dangerous. They feel they don't have the tools to win right now, though, and are digging. Well, Flipperoo, we're deep in payoffs. We're just not deep in actual cycling. Well, we've seen some risks of not doing cycle tapping in the face of these oddities, but again, how many do we really expect them to have? That helps, but we still have blocks. I'm gonna put 2 tacticians down because we don't need a million taps. We're going to play another tactician. We draw a land, we can go tactician, Obosh, and have the ground still covered. I don't want to put everything because I don't want to lose the enforcer. Boy, if it's a +3/+3 trick, we still survive. I guess if we feel like we're not going to need the enforcer, we can do this. And I suppose if we get enough mana, we won't. Yeah, well, this is fine. They're probably going to take out a tactician anyway. Oh, they want the enforcer gone. All right, well, that's fine with me. We got the memory leak that means basically we can't lose now. Basically, I say basically. They have 2 draws, so I feel like we can't lose on their next turn, which gives them 1 more turn to find a way to beat us. Can't lose on their next turn-ish. Yeah, the magic gods have like perked up. Can't lose? Can we figure out a way? Let's see if we can punish him. The magic gods are paying attention. Let's see if they can punish me. But I think we're okay. I'm going to play it because it was purchased, but I think they're mostly dead, not us.
But your friend here is only mostly dead.
Yeah, there's some face damage that could happen with like a trampling ram or something like that. Anyway, we're going to hope they don't have it. Yeah. We did it, gang. All right. Whew. Some days you feel like you might be okay at this game. Some days. All right, let's claim this prize. Yeah, tapping the flyer could have been reasonable so we don't lose to Wilt. But they had, like, the reason why that's not what would have happened, like, Kento, if they had Wilt, they would have had to use it before we did our tapping, or they would have been nuts, because if we decline to tap anything, they don't get to use their Wilt before they declare attackers. I don't know how we're doing on collection counts. I haven't looked at that yet, but maybe we'll check that out in a bit. Let's go to profile soapbox and say thank you so much, YouTube friends, for hanging out today. Appreciate that. Had a lot of fun. Another 3-0. Right on. That deck was an interesting take on the cycling deck. It didn't quite get there as the incredible powerhouse cycling decks that you can see, but it did express why I think going after those decks can be so good. It's that your fail case when you don't have the amazing cycling deck is still a pretty darn good deck. It's still snare tacticians that are a pain in the butt on cycle 2 and all that stuff. I mean, we ended up with... I was really happy that we got to play the ultimatum we took pick 1 too. That was awesome. And yes, I do owe you a profit meme. Here you go. And yeah, that's so. I think the deck is great in part because of how good it is when it doesn't get there in its great form, you know? Yeah, cycling being partial fixing, yes. Yeah, ultimatums are very castable in these cycling decks because you see 80% of your land by the end of the game. So if you need a way to finish a cycling game, that an ultimatum can do it. Yeah, 36 in the bank, and we bought the mastery pass, and we're just going in the right direction. We can do whatever we want. Heck, you want to go? Let's buy. Is Mama still here? Yeah, I want to buy we can buy some cosmetic prizes. What are the daily deals? I don't like card styles. I would buy like sleeves and stuff, because then people get to choose them and use them. Oh, is that an app? That's what this is? You want to get a cheap avatar? We never really change our avatar, though. Maybe we should. All right, Mama. We've gotten 2 3-0s in a row, and we're flush with gems. Mama gets to pick some sleeves. They can't. I don't know about 1,200 gems though. They got to be. They got to be in one of the 600s we can do. I don't think these 1,200 just for guilds. Although maybe I would do it for Soul Ring. Soul Ring is like one of my favorite Magic cards because it's like the spikiest. But no, I'm not choosing. Well, I'm going to vote on it then. We're going to do a poll. Did I say goodbye to YouTube yet? Maybe YouTube wants to see us buy sleeves or something. I don't know. Hi, YouTube, if you're still here. Oh, yeah, you can't really vote if you can't see. Good call, D. Hold on. Let me get out of your way so you can see. Or how about here? Here we go, even better. So, Bitter Blossom, Goblin, Loam, Regal. Ooh, Serum Visions. I think if I choose it, I think Serum Visions are awesome. I love the Art Deco thing going on here. But I'll, yeah, Snow Mountain is good. So your poll are Bitter for Bitter Blossom. And I'm going to give you the whole 60 seconds on this. Bitter. Goblin. Life for Life from the Loam. Regal for the Caracal. The Kite. Serum for Serum Visions. Sliver for the Sliver Overlord. Snow for the Snow Mountain. And if y'all want to be big spenders, I will also put Soul on the list, and we can do Soul Ring sleeves, because those are sweet. I'm not spending 1,200 on some guild sleeve. And for those watching at home, I do not advocate buying any bling if you're a free-to-play player who runs out of resources. You really should focus your resources on gameplay content, event entry. We are plus EV players when it comes to our win rate plus our gold grind, so we get to buy ourselves a little present sometimes. The guilds are badass, but come on, Flipperoo, they're not double badass. They shouldn't be double. You know what I mean? Don't worry, when guilds rotates, these are all going to be on sale for 200 gems each. What do you know? Big spenders. Welcome, Robert. Well, I'm saying, I mean, you know me, Flipperoo. My ultimate trump card on everything is do what's fun, right? I've never not mentioned that the ultimate point of all of this is to have fun. And so your ultimate EV goal is to produce fun in your life. And if you're a free-to-play player who would find more joy out of having, you know, Snow Mountain sleeves than having partially entered into your next draft, go for it. So, we're doing so well. We bought some bling. I'm going to go back and say goodbye to YouTube again, just in case I failed to do that before and can do it now. Bye, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out.